Hello, everyone. Good evening. That's all the time that I can wait for the others to join, so we have to start. Yep. We're going to start, obviously, retaken from the last activity. Just last week, we stopped at this part. We were working on 2B, and we stopped at this one. We made the introduction, right? Like the strong adjectives. And the strong adjectives, we mentioned that it's an improvement on your level of English. Yes. Why? Because we're gonna try to eliminate from our vocabulary the intensifier very. So I don't go like very exhausted, very tired. You use exhausted instead. That's very good. Use other adjectives, like for example, that's fantastic. Yeah. Just in case. Okay. Also, what happens is an example that when they mention when the weather is very hot. Yeah. Instead of using very hot, what we're going to use is boiling. Yeah, referring to that characteristic. So the strong adjectives give us that idea that what we are going to refer to, actually we can give a different sense. Yeah, in the way of promoting those changes. Yeah. So once again, it's about vocabulary. It's about improving your English level. It's not using the basics, yes, but having all these other options in order to have a chance to experience different terms related to this activity in particular. Yeah. With that introduction, we're going to start on activity 6A. And let's take a look. As usual, let me start my attempt. So what we get? You get some verbs, and what we are going to do is related to complete the sentence with a normal adjective. Was Lisa's father angry? Yes, he was furious. So in this case, is Oliver's flat? Yes, it's really tiny. Another one for tiny, which one will you use? Which one will you choose? Instead of tiny. So it's about vocabulary. Perfect, thank you. So there we got. Is Oliver flat small? Yeah, it's really tiny. Yeah. Next one, you have to change the one that is terrified. So for not using terrified, for using these this kind of adjective, but not so intense, right? Not so strong. So are you afraid? Are you afraid of flying? What's the food instead of delicious? So for example, I try with good. Was the food good? If I made that question using good, it's basic. Yeah, and that's what we are trying to avoid with the others. Or are you very, and then here you have starving. So when you don't eat, you feel hungry. Yeah. Let's try. Let's see my results first. Is your parents' house? It's enormous. It has 7 bedrooms. Is your parents' house big, for example? Let's try that one. Was it in Moscow? It was freezing. Yeah, freezing is related to cold. So let's see, right? Let's take a look if that one works for us. Was Jack's kitchen? It was filthy. Filthy. That one is a strong adjective for dirty. Yeah. Are your parents delighted? So let me try happy. So what is important in this exercise? In this exercise is to learn a little about the relationship, yeah, between the normal adjective, the ones that we know, the words like happy, cold, dirty, and other adjectives that gives you the same idea, but they are considered strong. They exaggerate a little the meaning, and also they show that you have a better English level. Yeah. What's the film? It was hilarious. Yeah. What's the film? What about hilarious? Yeah. What's the feel? What? Which one will you use? For not using hilarious. Funny. Funny. Very good. Good option. Yeah. Or you lock the door. I'm positive. Are you sure? Let's try that one. And this one, were you? I was absolutely amazed. Amazed. So let me use here. I'm going to try with surprised. Once again, in this activity, what is important is that we see the relationship between the normal adjective and the strong adjective. Yeah. So it's okay if I say is Oliver's flat small. Flat is the British word for apartment, right? It's okay if I use a small. Yeah, of course, it's okay. Yeah, but if you want to improve your English, you have this option, tiny. Yep. So let me check my attempt. Let's see what I get. Okay, take a look. We got a small, afraid. Instead of good, they are using nice, right? What's the food? Nice. Then we got hungry, big, cold, dirty, happy. So the others are okay, except for instead of in number 4, right? Instead of was the food good, we're gonna use nice. Yep. So let me take, as usual, I want you to help me out with, yeah, with the participation. I'm gonna grade the participation, the ones that help me out with some answers, just in case. Let me see your results. Very good. So I got 5 attempts. I need 2 more. Yep. So let's wait some minutes for the others. Excellent. There we go. 7. So we wait some minutes in order to complete all this activity. Yep. Thanks to the ones that already answered. Waiting for the others to finish your attempt. Help me out with that, please. Let's give 2 more minutes and then we continue. Yep. Okay, time to continue. Let's go back to the student book, the material you got on the platform. And let's see. We just worked on the activity 6A. And here you have the application for you to practice. That is like to make questions and to answer, but trying to use the strong adjectives. Yep. Not the normal adjectives that we refer to. Question number 1. Have you ever been swimming in a place where the water was absolutely freezing? So I can say like, right, when the water was absolutely cold, when the water was very cold, but instead I want to use the new adjective, the strong adjective, that in this case is freezing. Yep. Is there anything that makes you furious about car drivers or cyclists in your country? So instead of furious, I can go like the normal adjective, right? And I go like, is there anything that makes you angry? But I want to express something more. That's why they take in here furious. Number 3, are there any animals or insects that you're terrified of? Terrified. So not only scared or that you dislike, terrified. So terrified is that you're really, really scared about. Yep. What's the most delicious meal you've had recently? Delicious. And we saw in the exercise that they use normally the word nice, right? Or I can use actually good. What you change in here is the word delicious. Strong adjectives, yeah, that's what they are referring to. Is there a comedian or a comedy series on TV in your country that you think is absolutely hilarious? So instead of saying only funny, now I use the word hilarious. Yep, strong adjectives. We're gonna work on this one. Let's see. Activity number 7. Activity number 7, that is writing. Yep. So let's take a look at what is it. Write an informal email to thank somebody you have been staying with and to tell them what you've been doing recently. So let me see what you get in here. And here you have to input your answer. For that, I want to share with you some information. Let me share my screen. And what they refer to, it's an informal email. Yeah. It's an informal email. So what you're going to observe in here is this following. Yeah. Take a look at the example that you have on the right. Hi, Angela. I'm really sorry for not writing earlier, but I'm very busy since I got back. Thanks for a wonderful 6 months. I love being in Chichester, and I had a great time. I also think my English got a bit better, don't you think? It was so nice to look after Mike and Sally. I thought they were adorable. And I think we had a fantastic time together. I have really good memories. For example, our travel to the Isle of Wight and the zoo there. I've been a bit stressed these last few weeks because I've started working at a restaurant while I look for a proper job. Be a waitress is very hard work, but I can now afford to rent a flat with Sophia and 2 other friends. And I am saying to buy a car. I've also spent a lot of time with my family. My brothers have changed so much over the past 6 months. I've had several messages from Mike and Sally since I've been back. Please tell them from me that I miss them and that I send them some photos very soon. That's all for now. Thanks again for everything, and I hope you know you're welcome, yeah, in Ganston at any time. My family would love to meet you. Summer here is usually lovely. Hope to hear from you soon. Give my regards to Matt. Best wishes, Cashew. So here you have the example of the an informal mail. Yeah. So you see the dimension, what the activity is asking you to work on. Let me go back to the other part here. Write an informal email to thank somebody you have been staying with and to tell them what you have been doing recently. Yeah. So this is the situation. You imagine you just visited a friend. You're coming back. So you were in United States. You visit a friend, you visit families, right? Relatives. Now you're coming back to Ecuador and you're going to write a communication, in this case, an email that you're going to thank for all the time that you were there, for all the attentions you received. Yeah. And also you tell a little, you write a little about what you're doing now. So questions about the activity? Is it clear?
Mr. Can you explain me again?
Sure, Edwin, yes, of course. What you're going to do in this activity is that you're going to write an email. An email to whom? Imagine that you have a friend in another country and you visited this friend. Now you're back in Ecuador. So this email is to thank this person, right? That you appreciate all the attentions you receive. Maybe you include some details about a place that you visited there. And also, you're going to tell this person what you're doing now. So you thank, but you also tell him or her what you're doing now in your country. So that is the situation.
Okay, it's like talking with a friend.
Exactly. That will be the situation. Yes. Mhm.
Okay, mister. Thank you.
So let's work on this activity. I'm gonna give you, starting now, let's see, 15 minutes. Let's see if we can do it. I'm gonna share with you the other one. So you have a model. This one. Yeah. But I don't want you to copy this one, right? You're not going like, imagine that I'm doing it and I go, hi, Manuel. I'm really sorry for not writing earlier, but I'm very busy since I got back. So exactly the same now, but for you to have an idea, okay? Only that.
This is an example, ¿verdad? True.
That's right. That's the example. Mhm. So I leave it there and let's see if 15 minutes is enough to write something similar, okay? Okay, so let's start on this one as an introduction, yeah? Section 3A is a race across London. And what you got in here is related to the student book. Well, obviously we're gonna complement it with the workbook and some other activities. But let's see, shall we? Let's discuss what you're going to do, yeah, is to discuss this form. I want you to explain me the transportation, the public transportation in our country. Yeah, it's clear that when you talk about cities, when you talk about towns, the transportation, the means of transportations are different. Yeah, they are not the same. So what we refer to is that imagine that you are explaining the public transportation to a foreigner, to a person that comes from another country. How you explain, for example, in Guayaquil, what means of transportation can you find, depending the sector of the city? What means of transportation can you find? It's clear that we are going to start making a list related to the normal ones, right? What I mean, the public transportation, but you also got the system that we call here in Guayaquil Metrovia, for example. Yeah. Another means of transportation that you can find, taxis, cabs. Yeah. But what else you have? If it's more informal, in some sectors of the city, what means of transportation can you find?
Motorbikes.
Very good, exactly right. So we have those kinds of transportations, and that is what we are going to discuss about. Yeah. So like to think of 4 different forms of public transport in towns and cities in your country. What I want you to explain, I want you to find a way to explain an example, to explain the system of Metrovia. Yeah. To explain the city, the system, right, of the bikes, the motorbikes, yeah, that we have in some places, yeah, in some areas of the city, and especially in towns, you have other forms. And in some occasions, depending, once again, if we are talking about a small city, a small town in another province, it's extremely possible that you still have carriages. Yep, carriages means that there are animals that actually they are pulling, yeah, some means of transportation. Yep. In that way, that is what we are going to, that's what we are going to observe. Yep, related to this. So I'm gonna make the Zoom rooms. You're gonna be ready when I enter to give me your explanation. What is it? You're gonna describe the means of transportation in different cities. Maybe you have family in other places. Yeah. I have family in a small town in Guayas. And then actually they use donkeys. Yeah, they use horses. They use motorcycles. You don't see like so many cars. Yeah. So there you have options for it. What I want, you're gonna be in pairs, you're gonna discuss this topic, and when I enter, you're gonna explain to me the means of transportations. Is it clear?
Mister,
Yep.
is the comparison between cities only in Ecuador?
In Ecuador, yes, we're gonna discuss only about our country. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So let me see the teams, if they are even. They seem very good. So take a look, please, at the group section and accept the invitation. Check the group section and accept the invitation, please. Thank you. I'm gonna stop sharing in a minute. Maria, Juan, could you join your teams? Thank you. So who wants to start? Explain me, each one of you, explain me one means of transportation here in our country, in our cities or towns. Go ahead.
Okay, me first. I'm talking about Quito and the transportation that I choose. I choose the apps and application for transportation like Uber and Didi. That is the most important application in Quito. And for example, Didi has a contracts with the airports, and they have an especially rate for the airport and downtown. And if, for example, if you can subscribe to Uber, you need to use a special rate for frequency travels. And I think it is the special I think it is the special transportation in Quito, because if you have a car, you don't use in a special day, because in Quito has pico y placa. Okay, thank you.
Very good, Alexis. Very, very good explanation. Good selection as well. Who's next? Maria, Ruth?
Next, the city that I choose is Machala, and the type of transportation is buses. Buses is actually one of the most common transportation in all the cities in Ecuador. So here in Machala are a little different from big cities like Guayaquil or Quito, because like 5 years ago, they had a renovation around the type of buses in Machala. So all the buses now are they are more attractive to the passenger. So they actually have a air conditioner, and is more comfort to people. Like 5 years ago, the bad thing about it, buses transportation is the drivers are not usually very kind and they like to run on the road. So when you want to step on a parade is sometimes very difficult and very dangerous. And that's all.
Thank you so much, Maria. Very interesting. Ruth?
Means of transportation, Metrovía en Guayaquil.
Okay.
The Metrovía in Guayaquil is used by means of a card that is recharged with money for the fare, and each Metrovía stop there is machine to recharge the card, and you can also buy the card. I use if wanted to go to the university from Monday to Saturday. Thanks.
Thank you so much, guys. I got a couple more rooms to visit, and then we go back to the main room, okay? Hello, Emily, Edwin, how are you?
Hello, mister. Fine.
So when you're ready, you can start. Please describe one means of transportation from one city or town in our country.
Okay, in my city, that is Loja, the most common transport in my city is bus or taxi. And if you want some eco-friendly, you can ride a bike or a scooter. The company who rent this kind of transports called Clip. I don't know if you heard about here in Guayaquil. Well, it's very cheap and easy to rent a bike or a scooter. And yeah, in the buses we have two kind of bus. We have a bus that is color red. That is the trip is to southwest. Yeah. How do you say sur? Era.
Could you repeat that one?
¿Cómo se decía sur?
South.
Yeah. The trip, the red bus is the south of the city to the north of the city. And we have other bus that is the green bus, the color is green. The beginning of the bus is the north of the city and it ends to the south of the city. And yeah, we have just two transports, that is bus and taxi, and eco-friendly. We have a scooter and bike.
Excellent, Edwin. Very good description. Let's listen to Emily now.
Yes. In the city of Guayaquil, I used to get around Metrovía. I used to go to university or to the city center. Mototaxi, if I go to a nearby place, a mototaxi or Turisimoto. For example, to the hospital or the market. And bus, I use when I go to place where the Metrovía doesn't go. We also have the Aerobia, which is used if we want to go to Duran, or to stay well in the heights of the city of Guayaquil.
Thank you so much, guys. I visit one more team and then we are all together in the main room, okay? Just wait a couple more minutes.
Okay,
Good work.
mister.
Hello, how you doing? Luis Angel, Ramina.
Hello, mister.
So when you're ready,
Hello.
hello. When you're ready, you can start, please.
Yes, we were discussing the comparison of the use of transport between in Guayaquil in my case and Loja in the case of my partner. And I told him that in Guayaquil the use of transport most used is the Metrovia, cars, planes in case you want to travel to another country, including Cuenca, Quito, or Galapagos. Also, the yellow taxis or those with cell phones applications, it's the same. And bicycles, and it's all of, I remember, transportations.
Thank you,
Okay.
Romina. Luis Angel?
In the case of Loja, which is the city where I live, the transport is similar. There are buses, but they're not as big as the Metrovia. There are taxis and motorbikes, and in the rural area, they still use horses and donkeys to get around. But the big difference, we don't have planes.
There is not a route, an airplane route from Loja to Quito, not anymore.
Yes, but the airport is around to Loja.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. As usual, you both excellent work. I have to visit one more team, and then we go back to the main room.
Okay, mister. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Juan, Marjorie.
Hello, Mr.
So when you're ready, let's begin. Yep. Marjorie, let's begin with you. Yep. The description of one means of transportation and tell me in which city.
The city, Quito. The use of the most transportation with the trolleybus and metrobus. And this usually transportation for the avoid the traffic, evit the move faster to your destination, and also among the best bicycles. And there are for the strategic place in the city, and maybe usual teleférico and public transport.
Very good, Marjorie. Good description. Juan, are you ready?
Yes. And the other city is Guayaquil, unlike Guayaquil which has different methods of transportations that could be said to be more basics, and as the bus, the Metrovia, cabs in the small parts of the city, and the moto taxis. And I think the fact that are only these methods, and the fact that only these methods exist, causes the city of the collapse, and starts and generate traffic on our roads.
I agree with you, Juan, about the traffic. Yes, it's
Yes.
terrible to drive or to move in Guayaquil at sometimes. Excellent work as usual. I have to visit one more team, and then we are all together in the main room. Excellent work.
Thanks, Michelle.
Hello. Nora, Dylan, how are you? So Dylan, let's begin with you. Tell me about one means of transportation and in which city.
I'm gonna choose Guayaquil, and I think it's one of the most important public transport is the bus here, because it's cheaper and it's easy to use. The only thing that is really dangerous to take the bus here in Guayaquil.
I agree with that idea. Yeah, extremely difficult, dangerous. That is a perfect description for it. Thank you, Dylan.
You're welcome.
Nora, are you ready?
Hi, teacher.
Hello, Nora. So please tell me about the means of transportation.
In Ambato, they use train to move tourists. In the same way, there are urban bus. In Quito, they use trolleys similar to the Metrovía of Guayaquil. And in Quito, there is also train which run through certain part of Ecuador.
Very good description. Now we are going back to the main room. Okay, excellent activity, you both.
Thank you.
I just want to make the introduction for what we're gonna take on tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna start obviously the section 3A, and what we are going to observe is related in the first moment is related to the transportation. So we're gonna have some vocabulary related to it. But once again, this one is only like an introduction, right? Tomorrow we're gonna have it. I really love your work as you were describing means of transportation. Yeah, very good. I like the way you describe mototaxis and how in what places we use them. Also, I love when some classmates, some people here, you make a comparison between cities. That was great. Yeah, the means of transportation, but you were comparing. Yeah, what you got, I suppose, in your city with the classmate cities as well. Yeah. So tomorrow, what we are going to take is related to the public transports and vehicles vocabulary. And we are going to observe like carriage, coach, lorry, motorway, platform, and so on. We're going to observe that kind of thing. Some of you use the word scooters. I think that was for Loja, like a good means of transportation. Also, the underground, or what we know as the subway. Yep. Remember that the series, the content that you're using in the platform is British. So that's why they put it like underground and American, ANE, subway. Yeah. The tram in Spanish will be tranvía. Yeah. Tram and the van. Yeah. Una furgoneta, van. So there, just to, once again, like an introduction for the vocabulary we're gonna use on tomorrow. Yep, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Miss Pinkai not here yet. So that will be it for tonight, and tomorrow we retake it, yes, to start working on 3A activities. Always take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, mister. Thank you.